It's fine. Strangely familiar. It's fine. It's a good
Good
podcast
enough.
if you ran out of your other podcast, but you're still in the plane.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you still got to get to your gate and you just can't stand just the
Yeah.
absolute black hole of nothingness in your ears, if you just have to be lost alone in your own brain, we're there. We're
Yeah.
just voices in your head.
I bet in reality, I bet we're actually a really great go to sleep podcast because we're not, you don't care if you miss anything. It's
Yep.
just kind of talking, like it's just noises. So I bet we're doing a lot of people a lot of favors and getting them to sleep.
I actually listened to I listened to our show the other day. you know, I'm subscribed, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
always listen. But I was going for
Okay.
a walk, and I was like, "This is good. Our voice is all right. We have good walking voices. That's what we
That's good.
specialize. We specialize in mild activities, mild life
Yeah.
activities. We're right there for you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We're there for all of life's less important things,
Yeah. So if you're
like
sitting there,
mildly important.
yeah, mildly. So if you're playing, I don't know, cribbage or something, put us on at a low volume, a reasonable volume. Put us
Absolutely.
on. But if you switch to Uno,
Right.
you're gonna
Yeah.
have to stop, turn it off. yeah, we can't go
Yeah.
crazy. All right.
We can't be the soundtrack to that intense of a game.
We will never be Uno.
No, we will always
I've
be
confused my
Rocky.
priorities. Isn't it supposed to come to me? Yes, this is how it's meant to be. Every little thing flashing on a screen.
I don't know what that is.
They're keeping it hot, keeping it relevant with the dance moves. I don't even know what that is. Was that the Soldier Boy that I was just doing? You're gonna have to watch the video
Oh,
for that.
it looked like someone doing a really bad job, like revving their motorcycle.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
should get on it. You should get on the motorcycle. It's a lot easier. Welcome. Hey, audience. Hey, Strange Fam.
Whoa.
Welcome to a podcast. This is another one of the episodes where I'm going to say the episode or the show that you're listening to. And that
Oh
my
yeah.
name's Matt.
I'm not. I'm still Jeff.
And this is the
Yeah.
great experiment of can you still be friends with somebody if you didn't
That's
talk to each
right.
other for a couple
This
decades?
has an idea behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should
So
do it. Hey,
it's
let's do a status check on it.
okay.
Is it working?
Not a fan. Not a fan.
Not
I'll be
really.
honest with you.
It's
I
7 months.
Is it really? Wow.
Well, this is
Yeah,
episode
I
28,
guess.
right? Am I doing the math
28,
right?
yeah. That's about 7 months. So I guess we started. Did
Yeah,
we start during football season? That doesn't
we
sound
must
right.
have.
I'm not
7
sure I would
months.
have
Yeah,
had
that puts us like right
those
at the beginning of the year.
aspirations during
Wow, this
football,
turned into a
especially during
resolution.
playoff football.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
We've put out, this is probably the most consistent thing I've done in my life. Even work. I haven't been to,
I've called in 7 months worth of work. I've called in before.
Yeah,
I've
I've missed some
actually
work.
been more reliable with
Yeah.
this.
Nice. It's working.
Yeah, no.
I think it's still, I mean, I do tell people about it. I don't like promote it. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
But I'm getting close. I'm getting close to the point of being like, you know
That's
what? I
good.
want to tell people about this. So I do.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of interesting because people will say that they listen to it. Greatly appreciate those of you that do. But I'm really curious to see if anyone is listening that doesn't know either one of us. I'm really curious as to their take.
I would blow my world.
Like
Just a stranger in a
I
strange
want
land.
one person. I want one person who has no idea who either one of us are.
Please let us
If
know.
that is you, go ahead and I don't know, find us on Facebook. We do have a Facebook presence, or find us on YouTube and comment, please. I am so curious. We will have you on the show if you're willing to talk to us, but
Very
neither one of
nice.
us can know who you are.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
if you are
imagine their
just a
first guess,
person,
yeah.
we will literally have you as our first guest, someone who doesn't know either one of us. And I think that would be the best way to have our first guest. So
Yeah, that'd be great. So not only have they not interacted with either one of us yet, or any of the comments, but let's just bring them right onto the show. Hey, I'm
mhm.
really shy and I don't want to make contact with either of you on the internet. Let's just do it. But maybe this
Yeah.
inspires you to do something different than you have been. All right.
Yeah.
We're here
Yeah.
to
No,
give you that,
maybe not
that push in the right
reconnecting, but
direction.
maybe someone's kayaking now, maybe, or, peeing in bottles now, or going to go to Russia. That maybe
Now's a
we're
good time to
inspiring
go to
them in
Russia.
other ways. Yeah. Now's a really good time to go to Russia, especially if you're looking for good kayaking.
Yeah. If you're into
I would highly
drones,
suggest
check it
it.
out.
Mhm,
But yeah,
mhm.
I mean, I mean, it all goes together. I mean, I get kind of sick about the worst thing in my life right now is not drinking. I got to tell you, I just hate it because
Mhm.
I just bring it up way too much to people. I know it. It's so annoying. But just starting to go out now more like social engagements.
Yeah.
Like I've been last couple weeks been to a couple trivia nights, went to a karaoke thing, went to like a minor league baseball game. So doing things out in public with people from work or townies, just different folks, and still not boozing. So it's kind of weird. So it's I don't know. It's hard to like get the energy of just the easy booze energy that I definitely miss. Because I was listening to the last episode and I was like, I felt really good about it, and then all of a sudden I was like, geez, I sound kind of like very mellowed, even though I felt really good. And I was like, I wonder if I'm so used to just crafting this energy, just from like it's so easy when you have some booze in you. That, but I think I'm coming around. I think I'm starting to get used to like being social and not having the anxiety of not having the drink or meeting new people, all that kind of stuff. I think so anyway. I mean, we spent a good portion of our lives meeting people without drinking. You know, almost a couple
I mean,
decades.
at this stage of the game, sorta, but you really
Yeah,
spent more time meeting people
more
drinking,
people. Yeah,
probably.
yeah, probably.
Like more people. So, do you think more people you've met were in an alcohol fueled system?
Well, I think the way that I've gotten to know people better is through that. Like, I think it was like kind of we were talking about the small talk thing last week, and there's only so much that takes so far it takes you the small talk or just the generalities of life. And then when you get that, that little liquid lube, lube is always liquid.
Yep.
I don't know
I'm
why I
not
had to
sure
double
what the
down on that. That's
solid
not what I
or
meant. Yeah.
gaseous lube is.
Yeah. Um, but it kind of helps you. I mean, yeah, the inhibitions thing, it's real. It's science, that it makes it easier to talk to people and open up about things. And I think maybe I don't have that. I'm getting better at not needing that. Maybe this pod is helping or not. I don't know.
Right. So I don't have a problem with that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's how you're supposed to meet people. And I think that's what you're realizing, right? Is like you're not learning to open up more without alcohol. What you're learning is that you don't need to open up to people to enjoy them or to get to know them and to like have a friendship with them. It doesn't need to be based on an alcoholic opening up to them.
Yeah, I don't have to do like a full dump on people, everything in my life or whatever's going on, or
Yeah, there
things
you
I
go.
wouldn't tell.
Exactly
Yeah,
that. That's
yeah,
yeah, exactly what I mean.
yeah,
You have to
uh,
become their friend because they know too much about you.
yeah,
You're like, well, now I can't have you as my enemy because I
yeah.
spilled everything about me.
Do you want to hear my hot take on pedophiles? I know we just met, but I don't know. I think they're treated a little too harsh. Hear me out. No, it's a debate. It's a debate thing. Here, no, no, no. I'm not saying I agree. Just here. Where are
That's
you going?
I'm
Um,
not sticking up for. I'm not defending what they do.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that was
Uh,
probably that probably scared off some.
but when you were telling me about meeting a date or your
Mhm.
girlfriend, I mean, because you guys met at the coffee shop, right? The first time, if I
No,
remember.
no, she and I know we did meet up at for dinner,
Oh, dinner. Okay.
dinner and
Well,
drinks. Yeah,
let's
but I
reshoot
have
that
done
whole episode.
I have met people at coffee shops. But yes,
But then, kind of how I had said, like, well, I always do the drinks, and I couldn't imagine in my mind like meeting somebody without having drinks involved, like on a date or something like that. And now I'm coming around to the idea. So,
okay.
um, but yeah, getting used to the social stuff. So I think, in a way, the pot is helping. The not drinking's helping. Um, just running, just doing something consistently has been helpful. So that's my thoughts on it. Plus, I feel like we're friends, pretty much. I still feel like there's so much more to unpack. Like I've enjoyed that. Like
I
I feel like
know.
now we're getting into like debating again. I keep throwing out the word debate because it's one of the words today, and I just wrote it down. Um, but I feel like we're getting more into no, that's stupid. Just disagreeing with each other. Like
Yeah.
the longer we go on, which is good. That's a sign of a true bond. Is like, no, that's fucking stupid. It's
Yeah.
being comfortable
Yeah.
saying that.
And it's tough, man, because it's like debating. When it comes down to debating, is difficult
True.
because debating is. I should have looked up what Webster's defined it as, but like in my opinion, it's you have to be obviously one side of a topic, and the other person has to be on the other side.
Yeah.
But also is part of it. It's the convincing nature, right? You have a mission in a debate.
Yeah, an argument. Yeah, you're trying to win.
But like it's right, it's you're trying to win an argument, and like it's tough because I do want to hear other people's sides. But man, I just get so shut down mode sometimes. Like if it's topic, if it's a personal thing, I don't. I want people to tell me what it is. But like when it's more of like a social topic and stuff like that, I'm pretty hard nosed. Like I'm willing to do it if that's what they want to do, but I will drop, like you said it exactly. Like I will let them talk for 10 seconds, but probably if they're not really good constructing their argument, I'm probably going to go, no, that's fucking stupid. Like, so I shut down debates pretty bad, even though I want to have them.
I mean, I always liked. This is the asshole in me for sure. I love finding the devil's advocate debates, even if it's something I agree on. like,
Yeah, devil's
like,
advocate stuff is fun. Almost like that's
Yeah.
more fun to do when everyone's on one side and you're like, well, hear me out. Like you said, like earlier, it's like, yeah, but, and like you throw in like an idea that isn't what you think, but you come up with the idea. Somehow it pops in your head and you're like, oh, that's a nice chaos grenade I can throw into this mix.
I think so. I'll just bring up the word. So here's our three words. This is going to be the world record for how quickly we're getting into them. But it was debate, genuine, and orchestra. So I actually came up with a couple. Not came up. I was thinking about debate. So my first real debate that I definitely knew I was during the debate, it came to me. I was like, I don't believe this at all. It was I remember 2003 in a class called mediation at Colgate. And it was like the war in Iraq. Like we were going to go invade Iraq. And somebody was on the side of we should invade. And I was on the side of we should invade Iraq. But part of it was I was still evolving as a person. So part of me still believed it. I was like, yeah, we should. Because I think I was hanging on to like a lot of conservative energy / Republican energy I had from growing up. Who I thought was like, just military is fucking awesome, and I love war, and I just love that we can kick the shit out of countries, and we can just go do that. And I don't know, that's whatever kind of stupidity was in my brain. And then I was up
so
there
you would have been when Iraq happened. You were just you were like it happened like around when your 20th birthday would have been, right?
Right. Yeah. So it was probably sophomore. Yeah, I think it was my sophomore year. Yeah, it was because I remember a bunch of people went.
I think it was March. I think it was March of 03 when that happened.
Like some people went to go protest it in New York City and stuff like that. But then I just felt like I was giving these arguments like, well, they have, 9/11. Well, it's like, well, they didn't do it. It's like Saddam Hussein. It's like, yeah, well, we fought him 20 years ago, and he's not part of 9/11. It's like
he didn't do it either. Okay.
My argument was like, yeah, but still, it's basically the argument. And as I was doing it, I was like, holy shit, maybe we shouldn't go fight Iraq. And it started to occur to me, and I was like, this is a bad idea. Then the other person was like, whatever, it's but oil, or like, we're just establishing American dominance in the region for this. And I was like, holy shit, is that true? That's bad.
I concede.
Yeah.
Mediation concluded.
Yeah. But I was like, oh no, I'm on the wrong side of this. But I never really did like a debate club or anything. But you're right. I just fucking love a good just.
Did we have a debate club in high school?
We may. Honestly don't even know.
I don't know. I'd have to check the yearbook and see if
Yeah,
they see if
it's
that club
probably a great
existed.
idea, especially now when it's so easy to go online and just attack people with no evidence or citations or
Well, that's
constructive
why it's not a
arguments.
great idea, because it's useless now. You can't have healthy debate anymore. No one wants it. People want echo chambers. That's
Hmm.
all. No one wants to talk about anything.
But I don't think people want that. It's just their brains are programmed. Like whatever the 5% of people that are programmed to like continuously engage uh, seem to make up the content. Do you ever go onto the website called X? It used to be called Twitter.
Jesus. Don't start this shit.
Well,
Don't
I go
promote
on
that
there.
clown.
It's my way of going on and like gauging the world. That's my. I don't participate. I don't send tweets. I don't respond. I mean, it's honestly probably the best way to get like really breaking news about things, sports stories or whatever
It
going on.
is. It is.
But then I just love hitting a I don't. I hate it. I hate reading the comments. But it's like you can predict exactly every comment for every type of thing that's going to be on there. And I'm like, wow, this is just feeding whatever you want it to feed for you. Um, and you find people that just agree and disagree, the same arguments, and but it's not that many people. I really feel like it's not as many people as as we think it is, as like the detriment of society. I mean, it could be a detriment to society, but I really feel it's like 3% of people fighting against another 3% of people.
Totally
I
disagree.
have no facts to back that up, but
Totally disagree.
really,
They're only the ones that are online. I think every person I run into is that same. Like 95% of the people that we run into, even if they're not on Twitter, there's no one's avoiding social media. So everyone has been brainwashed and thinks that it's okay to voice their shitty opinion on things and thinks everyone cares. So I disagree. I think it is the general public that is
that's
that
true.
fucking stupid.
You also still
So
I haven't been on Facebook in a few years, so I've
well, Facebook
got
is taken over. Facebook's mostly is taken over by like our parents' generation. Like it's as far as like spreading of stupid bullshit. It's people in their like AARP people, and I'm not saying old people are wrong, but that's their platform. Whereas Twitter is much younger people doing the same bullshit. Like I use Facebook to post about stupid things. Like I think the last question, let's see, the last thing I posted about on Facebook, hard hitting. Oh, I had a poll. The last question was when eating a sandwich on a normal shaped squarish breads, not cut, does the first bite you take go toward one, a flat side as holding of a sandwich ergonomically, and is each hand on a flat side, thus a flat side facing you? Or do you approach by the corner as to envelop the entire bite and not subject your mouth corners to the awkward brush up against the crust, risking the condiment transfer and making you appear to be a slob?
It's a very detailed question.
That got 29 comments.
Really?
Yes.
What's the most passionate comment on that?
Oh, that is from my a fraternity brother of mine, Billy. He put, start in the corner, work down the side, and switch to the other corner so you can allow yourself a great middle bite. Then work down the middle so you also allow yourself a great side bite / great corner bite, depending on which way you go after this point. The fork in the road in the final third of the sandwich allows for flexibility, which is nice.
I just fold mine in half and bite.
You fucking
just bite
savage.
The total middle.
You son of a bitch. Actually, we did get a comment similar to that. The most chaotic comment: put the center of the sandwich to my mouth and make a small pentagon with my fingertips and push from the opposite side center, then throw away the rest and make another.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Heated debates.
Is the hot dog a sandwich?
No, that's fucking stupid. Go ahead. What do you think?
You're saying no?
Yeah, it's not a sandwich.
I disagree.
You stupid son of a bitch.
It's a really wide sandwich. I eat it from the middle like everybody does. Is the
No.
taco a sandwich?
No.
It's not. Here's one that I've enjoyed over the times. What's better, cake or pie? What do you think?
What's better?
Let's say, yeah. So I say
What?
what's
Yeah.
better.
What, you can't just say
What do you
cake or
like?
pie.
Let's say you get to have one for the rest of your life. What do you pick?
Okay. All varieties of such.
Mm-hmm.
Question, because of
Because
context.
it's not about cheesecake, is it?
Yes, it is. Because
I knew
my
it,
opinion,
I knew it.
cheesecake's a pie. Cheesecake's a pie.
All right, here we go.
It's cheese
Thank you.
pie.
I agree. I agree with that.
All right.
But
And that
that's
is my tiebreaker. I'm going pie.
all right. So my thing was always like, I think the best cake, the argument for cake would be the best cake will always be better than the best pie. But the average pie beats the average cake, I think, on any day. Because you can make
That's accurate.
like
Yeah.
$700 cakes, like really nice crumble, like grapefruit, just a lot of ingredients. Pie is pretty basic, but on a daily basis, regular cake kind of sucks. It's just like regular plain cake.
Yeah, like you're going
For
to a
me.
birthday party. You're going to a birthday party and someone kind of, maybe went to the lesser place, got a cake, or like, mom made the cake or something. It's not anything special, and it's going to probably dry out. It's not a lot of great things going on, but yeah, your mediocre pie, that's still a pie. Like I'll take that mediocre apple pie any day. Yeah, I
It's
think
hard to
that's a
have
valid
bad pie,
argument.
unless it's burned,
Yeah.
obviously. But
Yeah, I've had
pie,
burnt pumpkin pie though. I make it work.
yeah. Yeah, the cheesecake one, that's big though. That's gonna go a long way in my circles. So appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that pie-sided argument.
Yeah.
The other thing cake about it is the name, really. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't
know how to make it.
Yeah, I don't really get it.
All right.
But it's got all pie-like qualities. But so that was healthy debate. I mean, that's all about being genuine, right? If you don't like debate, are you being honest with yourself? Because you should want. I don't know. Should
Well, you debate
we
in your
want
head
people?
whether or not
Should
you
we
like
want?
it.
Should we want people to agree with us on everything? Would you want someone to
shouldn't.
never oppose you?
We shouldn't, but it makes people so uncomfortable. Or not.
Yeah,
Some people
well,
just love it.
People
I
are
don't like
okay
it.
with.
I think you like it
people,
more than I do.
What debate and like disagreement?
Like actual like verbal confrontation.
Yeah,
That's
I
my
mean,
gauge. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because as someone who talks for a living and deals on the phone with both attorneys in my history as well as parties just involved in accidents and stuff, phone service is the worst customer service, and anyone that says in person is worse is fucking ridiculous. Because I've worked in customer service in person, and people don't have the balls that they have on the balls or the irrationality that they do on the phone. Everyone thinks they're entitled to things on the phone. You're not. So fuck off if you're that person. But yeah, I do, because you want to know why? In general, people can't talk, and they have no idea how to defend themselves. So a good verbal confrontation, I'm going to win, and I'm going to belittle you and make you wish that you never started. I probably won't start it because I don't want to be, I'm not aggressive. But if you start it, I'm more than happy to finish it.
See, because it always goes that way, kind of. Like, it's hard to. There's just so very few arguments or debates in life that end with somebody going, "Yeah, that's a good point. I see. No, I see what you're saying," and then it just ends. Usually ends in broken friendships or like somebody angry storming off or a couple days
you never
of
realize
silence.
You never admit you're wrong on the spot. You admit you're wrong to yourself the next day when you're thinking about it, and like you're like, yeah, you're like, I messed up. So you rarely are gonna be wrong while the debate is going on. I think it's a lot of doubling down. I think that's human nature, to defend yourself, and like subconsciously you probably know that you're wrong, but you're like, I can't turn back now. I've already flipped the switch and now I just got to dig myself deeper. But I mean, I'm wrong plenty of times, and I've pedaled back. I've changed my opinion over the years. I don't think barely, I mean, I'm a very different person than what I was at 18. So at some point, many things, probably one by one, have changed. So I do think people do change, but do they change because of debate? Probably not. That's just trying to win a fight.
Right. Because then what's the point? I mean, I guess that's too. Like, if I'm arguing with somebody, is my point to tell somebody how I feel, to really express myself, or is my point to change their mind?
Right.
And at what point do I start giving up on the latter because it's not really going to happen? And at what point does the first part stop being important, where it's like, okay, you clearly know how I feel. I don't,
because if you're just speaking your mind, that should probably not take as long as a debate would. Trying to change someone's view is going to take you longer. If you're just here to point out your expression, A, that's not really a back and forth. And B, it's probably going to be a lot shorter discussion and calmer. So yeah, I think most debates are trying to convince someone as opposed to justifying the way you feel.
I also just like to ask probing questions. Like, I feel like I remember, like, when my parents were visiting Austin one time, and it was during the Star Spangled Banner, taking a knee, Colin Kaepernick stuff, and
okay,
I don't remember exactly what was said, but I think they were on the side of, like, it's ridiculous to, like, take a knee, or it should be, it's unpatriotic, fuck Colin Kaepernick. I mean, they wouldn't say that, but that's how people felt because he was taking a knee, and it's like, there's not, whatever he stood for, you shouldn't take a knee during the, and whatever, whatever you feel, don't take a knee. And I was like, yeah, but what, I mean, because the argument was because that was a, slander to our soldiers, or, to our heroes. So I would just ask, like, well, why is the national anthem just about soldiers and war? Like, that's what it's become. Like, doesn't the national anthem represent more than just soldiers and war? Aren't we all Americans? Like, why does it have to be everything go back to soldiers? And I think I remember my dad saying, that's a good, I mean, yeah, I don't know. And it's like, so I'm always more curious than I am, like, trying to, I guess, in a way, like, change their mind. Maybe that's the best way. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm saying is it's better to ask questions to try to change somebody's mind versus, like, just telling them how you feel.
And if it, like, for America today, it's like, if it can't fit on a bumper sticker, your explanation's too long. Like, everyone wants it to be black and white without an explanation. So, like, and that's stupid to do too. Like, it's, I don't know. I have that opinion on a lot of stuff, but I like to try to stay genuine, especially in work. I spent years being Johnny Corporate of trying to watch what I say. I don't anymore. In general, I just test the waters. I mean, I try not to be offensive, but I don't sugarcoat stuff nearly as much as I used to in a professional setting, because what's the worst that's going to happen? You get fired? All right, moving on. Whatever.
That is true.
I mean, honestly, like,
it's weird when you get to that point in a job when you're just like, the worst that happens is I don't have this job anymore. Like, yeah, that's it. I'll be okay. I mean, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Gotta figure it out. Why? Because you won't have any other option. So.
And it sucks to not be yourself, even at work, because it's like, yeah, there's a delicate balance. I mean, for me, like, I've gotten way better at that, where I had a boss tell me one day, like, when I was working at UT, I would walk in and I would just be like, just puss on my face, the bad kind. Just not talking to anybody, not saying good morning, anything like that. And then eventually it's like, hey, you should like say good morning when you come in. And I was just like, what if it's not a good morning? Like, one of those things. And I was like, but then over time I was like, I mean, I get what you're coming from, because I was like, I don't want to be in a place where I'm just unhappy and I can't be myself the whole time. So I had to, like, over time, like, learn how to be myself more and more, open myself up. I mean, that was just in life, but then especially at work too.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a lifetime thing.
I think, like, people being like, yeah, using that as being like, I have a right to be fucking miserable. Yeah, but why are you miserable? Like, that's that could be like a self-reflection thing too, is if you're miserable at work every day, it's like, well, if you don't like the job, then get your ass out of the job. Or if something else in life is bothering you, then work at it. But it's like, in general, we try to be positive people because that's our human nature. We want to be happy. So being true to yourself is just like, I don't know, like, I always thought like this is what they want to see in a, a leadership role, like a trainer or a supervisor and stuff. And once I finally like turned that off and I'm like, no, I'd be good at it and I'm just going to be myself and do my version of it. It actually has worked better for me. So I'm not going to stop doing that. And if it works out for me and I get other promotions or something, like, cool, but I'm not going to be long gone are the days of me trying to kiss ass or anything like that, or be trying to impress anyone. It's like, hey, listen, if you want me to do something else, like, great, but I'm not gonna fake it. And if it doesn't work, then okay, then do something about it. I'll play chicken. Like, oh, you don't want me to be like that? Okay, your move. Like, so
Yeah, I still feel like it still comes up in once in a while. I just had it recently. A thought of like, am I myself? Like, when am I being myself? Am I still being genuine? Even when we record this, like, in a way, I still feel like I've only maybe been 30% myself, sometimes a little bit, and there's still, like, I don't know, these mental or blocks or something like that. And what does it take for me to be authentic in myself? I don't know. I really don't know. Sometimes it's like I feel like I'm being vulnerable, but there's things I haven't shared, and I don't know if I'm just looking for the right spot. Um, there's, I mean, maybe it's partly being at work. Maybe, yeah, going back to the booze. Like, I mean, obviously, it's really easy to do when you're liquored up to be that. So it's harder to be that now. But I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what. Maybe I don't know who I am. That's part of it too. Can you be at 40 not knowing exactly who you are?
well, I mean, yeah, if you really want to dig into the whole consciousness, I mean, we can. I mean, it might be a
Who are we?
multi-parter. Right. You have your physical being, your emotional being, and your mental being. But yeah, I think genuine is more of how you conduct yourself as opposed to generic honesty and informative. Like, you don't have, like, no one has to know everything about anyone. That's stupid. That doesn't make sense. In a way, I think it's human nature that we want people to paint us in a positive picture. The people that we care most about, we want to, like, do. It's almost like you want to do them a favor and paint yourself in a positive picture so that they can feel close to you and enjoy and be proud of you and stuff like that. So I don't think it's necessarily opening up about everything under the sun to be genuine. Genuine is, I think, more of a mindset and how you present yourself, how you come off, giving takes on things. Not to use the term take, because a take almost seems like it's just like for show, but rather voice your opinion and voice your instinctive opinion, but be willing to be corrected. Like, I think that's being genuine, not being over hard-headed, being okay with having a initial reaction to something, having a thought out reaction to something, and then be willing to discuss and maybe even formulate opinions later on after discussion. I think that's the genuine aspect. And I think that's the purpose of the podcast is, in my adult life, there's people that I want to be genuine with. And I don't think either one of us, in all the time that we spent growing up together, I don't think either one of us really knew what any of that meant, but also B, like, living your whole life at your parents' house, going to high school and going and living in Auburn, New York doesn't really expose you to a lot. So there's no like opportunity to be genuine. So I think it's kind of a neat course of action that we've taken so far with this, to kind of both be open and willing to just kind of react to stuff as it comes along.
That's what I was feeling, man. That was my honest truth. No.
That's
Yeah, I don't know, like, because I still think about podcasts that I did with the music and stuff and bands where I would just like make up these games, and that felt so like entertaining to me, and I felt like I had to be like this hosty guy and like do all this shit. And now I don't do that here. It's like, well, should I be that guy, or do more like that kind of prep where like, oh, I got a game every week we're gonna do, and I'm gonna make it like pop all these beats. And part of me is like, yeah, I should do that because that's what I liked to do on that podcast I was doing before. So would it make this better? Would that be more me? Do I feel like I have to be more performative on this kind of a thing, or do I just be like the me who's like chilling in the break room or something, or just shooting the shit with somebody? And is that right? So those are kind of the thoughts I have about it. And I probably know one way to do it. Maybe I'll just keep flip flopping, going around, try on different things. I mean, we got a good year. We don't have to be good till episode 53.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually facts.
This year doesn't count. We all know.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the trial year. They always tell you should have a trial year.
Yeah, so everybody's in on it this year. Congrats. We really appreciate it.
Ground floor. Ground floor. Good for you.
And orchestra. Have you ever seen an orchestra?
Does Trans-Siberian Orchestra count? Because yes.
You saw them?
Yeah, twice.
Oh,
great
really
show.
Trans?
Whoa, they were trans before it was trendy to be trans.
I know.
Yeah. No, yeah, and I don't even know about bi-Siberian or anything like that. But Trans-Siberian Orchestra was really great. It's an awesome live show. It's just visually and like auditory, just really appealing. There's just stuff going on, and you're just like, I love all this, especially if you enjoy Christmas music but want a crazy twist on it. I mean, it's really a great show. I would recommend it to basically every if you have the opportunity. But yeah, I've never really gone.
Yeah, all the guitar solos and shit. Everybody knows.
You know what Napster would credit as Metallica. Metallica Carol of the Bells.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
it's
yeah,
Christmas
I mean,
music for my generation.
Other orchestras I've never gone. I don't know that I would just go see an orchestra play. I would go to a play or something like that, something has a visual with it, but I don't think that I would just sit around necessarily for like a Philharmonic or something like that. A lot of orchestras around here, like the Philly Philharmonic, will play, like they'll do the music for like epic movies. So the movie will play on a screen, and then the live orchestra will actually play all of the scene music. So they'll do it for like Harry Potter's, Lord of the Rings, things like that. So I would go to that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. You know what? I may have gone to. I don't remember. I may have done like a Pink Floyd laser light orchestra thing back in the day, but I don't remember. So that adds up.
Yeah. So that means you probably did go.
Yeah. It seems like it's weird because we were both band kids. We knew kids in orchestra. Like I love classical music and pop music, or pop, whatever you call it, pop classical, John Williams type stuff.
Yeah.
Just never really get around. I mean, maybe I need to just get back into that a little. Put a little classical music back in my life. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll listen to some. I always liked the more upbeat stuff. I liked the Bachs, the Mozarts, but
the Hans Zimmers.
Oh yeah, I mean, who doesn't like Hans Zimmer's right there with John Williams? But yeah, I mean, playing it is a different realm. I always loved playing it. I literally could have sat and done band for all 9 bells. I literally could have sat there all day and played and been content. Which is why we were in every version of band, pep band, jazz band, marching band. I just wanted to play music. And I've never lost that. It's just when I went to college, I'm like, oh, I don't have to play in band, and that can be another 50 minutes I have to myself for the week. I'm like, okay, then I won't join band, even though like I absolutely should have kept playing saxophone. I've surfed the web and thought about buying a saxophone again, just to get back into the mix. So I haven't done that yet. I would like to buy a tenor saxophone, but turns out those things are really fucking expensive. And I'm really glad our school had one for me to use for all those years, because yeah, those are like a decent, even average one is thousands of dollars. But yeah, I mean, I regret dropping dropping it, but I bet I could pick it up and get back into the swing of things. So we'll see. I mean, I always have appreciation for it. You get there's a lot of metal bands out there that you can still get into the orchestral feel. Rhapsody of Fire being one that I found out about my freshman year of college. Really great, like power metal with like full orchestras and like chamber singers involved. So that's always fun. Metal keeps the classical bridge alive.
Yeah, there was like an S&M2 that came out a few years ago too. Metallica did. So I listened to that.
Really?
Yeah. There's a few songs from the first one, but then most of the other ones were all new. But that's probably my last symphony listen. But I should. I like this is a good reminder right now. I should go. I don't even know. Like, there's got to be some new band or symphony group that's like just good, makes new, like relevant classical music, right? I don't know. It must be a thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if that doesn't work, just get into a cappella.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I wonder if did acapella seize all of symphony's energy of the last.
I think so. I think
600 years.
the vocal orchestra is very important. Listen, like Pentatonics became really big, and Von Canto is a really good German a cappella group that does covers of metal. There's a lot of a cappella out there. I've listened to a lot of it.
Really? Would you participate?
What?
Would you
Doing
participate in
acapella?
acapella? Yeah.
100%. If someone asked me to join an a cappella group, if it was covering stuff that I liked, 100%. Yeah.
Would you just be like ball, ball, ball,
Oh yeah.
ball, 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 ball?
Yeah. I don't
Ball,
see. Yeah, I
ball.
wouldn't be able to rock like the lows, but I would do. I would be on the lower end. But I wanna switch gears, even though our orchestra talk could go on for hours as such. I do want to switch gears because we discussed that at the end of the last show that you were going to the Route 90 garage sale.
Oh, the garage sale. Yes.
And I want to know if you found anything that you want to share with us.
I did. Actually, they're in my car. Basically, I'll just get ahead of it. The only thing I really bought was some fishing lures. They're like spoons, they're called. So they're kind of like elongated. Looks like a two-dimensional egg, elongated with a little treble hook on the bottom. It was fun. It was raining all day. I do have a regret in that I did not purchase right away a Macho King Randy Savage jigsaw puzzle. I was like, I'm going to get this when I come back. And like 30 minutes later, when I walked by, it was gone.
Of course it was gone, Matt. Who would you think someone else wasn't going to buy it?
I also sort of hid it under stuff. But what happened, I think a guy this guy was selling a bunch of like wrestling stuff, like a bunch of nerd stuff, Marvel, all that. And I think a guy like bought out his whole truck. Like they like made him an offer. Like he was buying up like a locker or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, and he was probably going to go resell it.
Lost
So
opportunity,
that's some cool stuff.
man.
But the conversation we started held true, which was that there are people there. So Route 90, it's basically a road that goes through several towns, and some people do it out at their houses, put out stuff for the garage sale. I think some other people rent out the space, so they give it to other folks to sell their trinkets and trash. But we talked about the idea that some people are running like a full-on retail store versus a garage sale. And it's utterly ridiculous. Like, you go up to people, and so here's the story. So the spoons that we got, so the lures, the fishing lures I'm talking about when I say spoons, we probably saw like 50 of them. Somebody had them hung on like, like the tomato planters or vine, like the kind of the aluminum ring somebody puts in their garden for tomatoes to grow on. So he was hanging them all really nicely on on these little tomato racks, and we were looking at him. He's like, "Hey, I'll make you a deal on those," and we were like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You get $10 for all of them," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not even gonna. Yeah, that's great. I'm not gonna negotiate that because those are like $10 each. They can be these lures." So I was like, "Yeah." And then he pulls out a box. He gives it to him to put us in. You can take that box too. And I was like, "Dude, you are in the spirit of this garage sale. This is what you're
right.
Trying to get
That's
rid of this
garage
shit.
sale.
Yes,
That's garage sailing.
Yeah. There. Then I was looking at like some sinkers. He's like, "You want those too?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like 50 cents. I was like, "Here's $1. Like, I don't have 50
right,
cents."
Yeah, keep it.
I was like, yeah. It's like, so the next town we went into, somebody had almost the same thing. So it was like a husband and wife team that had like tons of tents. They must have rented this spot, but almost similar thing, same like spoon lures, maybe a few more. So we're listening to a guy. He goes, "Hey, I'll give you $100 for the whole box," and we're like, "Oh my god, are you kidding me? This guy's gonna pay $100 for this whole box of these things?" And we just got them for 10. And the husband, who clearly didn't want to be there, just wanted to get rid of everything, looks over to the wife and she goes, "No, we just can't do that." And I was like, "What the fuck? Are you kidding me?" I was like, I should be like, "Dude, come on, we'll sell you half of ours for $20."
For 50. Yeah, right.
Well, then she started creating this story of like, well, he's gone on to Lake Ontario and he's won fishing tournaments with these. And it's like, great, that's your story. This is still just
Right.
stuff to me. You're not selling your
Yep.
memories. You're selling these
Right.
things that you're trying to get rid of.
Stop with sentimental value. That's not how any of this works.
Yeah. So my dad tried to get a reel, like a fishing reel. He was like, so probably say like $10 and I'll offer 5. And she goes, "Oh, that'll be 30." And he was like, "No, okay, I'll go buy a new one for $30." Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They're gonna have that shit forever. All that garbage.
You can tell by like the labels on them how the price tag looks. If it's the little circle or little square with a pen written, like, all right, that's for wheeling and dealing. If it's like printed out, you're like, nope, this person's not gonna haggle.
But there was a few of those where people were like, "Yeah, this is what it's worth," and it's like, to you, it is.
Yeah.
To me, it's worth this. I mean, ultimately, all of this is worthless. All right, it's all going into the earth at some point to be destroyed.
On eBay, I saw this sold for, oh, really? When you scoped everyone on the country, the highest bidder paid this? Yeah, this is a garage sale. That's not how this is going to work. But that's what people do. They just make up their own math.
Yeah. The highlight was the Amish donuts. So Amish folk there had some donuts, peanut butter filled. Never had that before. Like,
that sounds great.
Sugary, powdery, peanut butter filled. It's pretty good, except for then it ends up being just peanut butter. It's mostly peanut butter.
Okay.
But yeah, the rain kind of spoiled it.
They sell you some like unpasteurized milk or something.
Yeah.
To wash it down.
But I didn't get. I wouldn't say I got. I was hoping to score or to get something really nice, but it's like every garage sale is just. It's like this kind of like nebula. It's like an impressionist painting where you can't see any details, but everything looks the same. It's all like some kind of candle or like cookie box or some kind of like Matchbox car all rolled into one. It's like every sale has the exact same shit. It's like, how do you all have the same like do not enter sign? Like, where does this go? Like, does this even make any sense? It's got a car on it. Do you have it in your house? Like, I don't even understand why everybody has this over here. It was good time with the fam. So, I'll say that. It's about the stores.
I told you that I was going to look for yard sales.
Fam.
Turns out it's very hard to find yard sales in this day and age. I checked Facebook to see if there was any local groups I could join, but they were private, so I had to like request to join them.
You got to get to a garage sale call.
I do not know why I have to request to join to learn about yard sales, but there's no newspaper to check because the newspaper classified ads used to be a solid place. So Caitlin tells me, she's like, well, there's this thing called the Berlin Flea Market. She's like, and it's like a massive indoor thing and just a bunch of shops. And I'm like, you know what? That'll do for today. That'll get me in that theoretical mindset. So we went, we packed up. We went to the Berlin flea market. And I will tell you, this place is pretty sweet because it's got like eateries in there. Like one was like a gourmet popcorn place. There's like general store type places. So you can get your like almost like your state fair type fix of foodings if you want in there. But a lot of just random stores. There was actually a music store in there. Tons of just random things. But I went into this one store where they had like some board games and some albums. Vinyls was definitely a place you could go to get vinyls. But what caught my eye was some baseball cards, and not the baseball cards as far as, the ones that are sold individually and stuff. But this guy had some Topps baseball cards, and I'm like, I'm going to buy a package of baseball cards.
Dude,
I
that
don't
was on my
know.
list. If I would have found that
I don't know when I
unopened
last
90s
bought
cards.
baseball cards, but what he had is what I was buying. And I have here
Dude, does it have gum in it?
Topps Major League Baseball cards, the real one from 1987. It says
The
win a
real
trip to 1988 spring training. Entry form inside. 17 bubble gum cards, 1 stick of bubble gum. And so I'm like, let's go ahead and we're going to keep these sealed and we'll open them on the pod. So we're going to open these together.
Dude. I want one of my lists. One of the things on my list was if I find hockey cards from the early '90s, late '80s, I'm buying them.
Yeah.
Some guy had a card. It's like one of the team packs of the Bruins from the year they won the Stanley Cup. But they were kind of bent a little. Not that I would, whatever. I really just wanted to open packs of cards that I didn't know it was in them.
It feels like the piece of the stick gum may have unfortunately broken somewhere in the last 36 years of travel.
Way.
Yeah. So
what year is this again? 1987
Topps baseball cards.
So let's name a couple players that we would hope to see in here. We're talking like Don Mattingly years.
I was just gonna say Donnie Baseball.
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson would be active.
Roger Clemens.
Definitely could see Clemens. Greg Maddux.
Darryl Strawberry.
Nolan Ryan would still be readily available. Strawberry, Doc Gooden. I mean,
dude, 80s
Willie
baseball
Randolph.
players look hilarious. There's gonna be a lot of mustaches, a lot of average physiques.
The Pittsburgh Pirates, Mike Brown. The Pittsburgh Pirates, Mike Diaz. Wow, folks, the double mics, double pirate mics. I knew I was going to hit it big. I could taste it. Ron Shepard with the Blue Jays. Let's see here. We got Bob Boone with your California Angels.
Okay.
No, you got to love when you get a manager card. The St. Louis Cardinals, Whitey Herzog. Yeah. Manager looking off into the distance. Mets manager, Dave Johnson.
Oh, you got 2 managers in one pack? That's so rare.
So rare. What a find. Oakland Athletics, Stan Javier. Look at that stash.
Dude, what a stud.
Stan the man.
Yeah.
Wow. I do not know this person. The Atlanta Braves, Zane Smith.
He's happy to be there.
Yeah, he goes, I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Is this a smile?
Here's my entry card for the chance to go to spring training 1988. The Padres catcher, Terry Kennedy. Not really feeling good about this.
This is rough.
The San Francisco Giants, Eric Show.
Wow.
The Giants, Jeff Robinson.
Jeez. This is the Goobers.
Texas
87.
Rangers, Daryl Porter.
He's got regular glasses on.
Oh my God, the stats on the back of these cards. Let me see here. Daryl Porter, career average 247. Not going to make it in the 80s.
He's got some power. Dude, no stars, no all-stars.
Atlanta Braves, Craig McMurtry.
Dude, that's when they had the pants. He's got full-on glasses. His baseball
he's a pitcher.
Pants, they don't have the belt. They just have the elastic. Wow.
Yep. Yeah, no belt.
That's rough.
Sheer elastic with a 4.6 ERA. Let's see. Philadelphia's Gary Redus.
Dude.
Man.
How
let's
much
see.
Did you pay for these?
$5 American.
Yikes.
2023. Manager, San Francisco Giants manager, though that's our 4th manager, Roger Craig.
Dude, wow. You got the manager collection. So that must be there's like
Milwaukee,
1 or 2 of these cards that were worth a lot, but the unopened
Milwaukee
package
Brewers, Charlie Moore for the catcher for the Brewers. And last but not least, Dave Kingman with the Oakland Athletics.
Wow.
Career 236 hitter.
You got boned.
I do not know who these
For people
people
that are listening to
are.
this that don't know sports, there's nobody notable in that pack of cards.
No.
I mean, not that I can think of. Not
No.
unless they consider the managers. I don't know. Whitey
Yeah,
Herzog, that's probably the most notable name.
I was just going to say the most notable person was the freaking manager. Yeah, not the best haul.
Yeah.
I'm looking at
Bad
batting
haul for the
averages. Nope. Wow. Yeah.
Did
well,
you debate on anything else at the flea market? Would you go back?
I
Was it worth it?
bought.
Like, is there opportunity?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I bought a thing, basically a bottle that would hold water for my griddle. So that was, something to get. What else did I get? I got something else. Oh, I also got for the griddle a apparatus that I could make like eggs with. So like little circles if I'm making like a bunch of egg sandwiches on the
isn't
griddle.
that cute?
Yeah. So that's a nice little thing. But the peak of this place
Contained.
was an arcade that had like 20 pinball games. So I literally bought $5 worth of pinball and just like I had to be told, Jeff, we're leaving. You have to stop playing pinball.
Yeah, which one tickled your fancy?
Thrilled. So they had some good newer ones and some classics.
Ball. Yeah, okay.
So
a lot of the newer ones are good.
I did play. So for the classics, there was South Park and Simpsons. I had to jump on Simpsons.
Oh, yeah,
That's a good classic one. Not Judge Dredd. I'm sorry. Demolition Man. Yes.
I played that.
Yeah.
That South Park one is pretty good. I think I remember that. I played that one before.
Yeah.
It's
loud. It yells because it was
really
like
loud,
it was like during like season 1 South Park. Yeah.
Is that like Mr. Hanky on there or whatever?
Yeah, it's like we're trying to be annoying. The newer ones, a lot were music ones. So they had a Led Zeppelin one, they had a Rush one, they had a Foo Fighters one, they had.
Ooh, I really want to play the Foo Fighters one.
It's cool. The Foo Fighters one looks like 70s. Like they purposely made it look retro. It's pretty like the functionality is certainly more modern than the retro ones. But the looks, everything makes it look. They like put a retro effort to it. But yeah, I always like music ones. That seems to be a pretty common theme for more modern ones, is bands have of them. And to be honest with you, I always like them because you get the ball somewhere and it's like starts playing a song and you're like, yeah I'm enjoying the music as well.
Yeah.
So, oh, dude, I'm trying to think which one it was on.
Oh boy.
Did you
add some initials?
Almost, you're on the right path. A very rare occurrence. I got the match.
Oh, you did? Okay.
He's on fire.
That does not happen that often.
Yeah.
It's like match your two numbers. And so, yeah. And it matched it. I'm like, free game. I'm like, sweet. Yeah. One out of 10. Theoretically, 1 out of 10. Sure, it does not award 1 every 10.
Dude, I tell you about being genuine. My dream is still to own a pinball arcade. I just really want to.
I support that.
Did I ever tell you the idea? Oh, cheese?
No, it's the gum.
Oh, gum. Do it. Do it. Oh, man. Oh, man. Wow.
Stop, don't come back.
You spit it out.
It's so dusty.
That is one big
It literally tastes like I'm eating dust.
Oh, man.
That was
You
a bad
had
idea.
to do it. I appreciate that.
Oh, the aftertaste is horrible.
That was good for the pod.
What's good for the pod? I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What were you doing?
You know what? Let's save it. I'm going to type it. I do want to pitch. I want to pitch my pinball.
Yeah.
I'll give you. It's called. Did I ever tell you about it? It's going to be called Grandma's House. That's the name of it. Just think about that. Ruminate on that.
Okay.
So that'll be for next time. I don't think I can sum up my dreams in 1 minute.
That's for the best. Did we hit the 30-minute mark? 40-minute mark?
Yeah,
35,
I think
40?
we're 45. Yeah.
Okay.
So for the words for next week, we actually have a
Mhm.
couple submissions in for random words. So I'm just going to take them in order.
Okay, great.
From listeners Andy and Bill.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go Andy submitted first, and then we'll do Bill's next week. So Andy's words she submitted through the Spotify app. Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys getting in there. I know a lot of you guys in the comments and stuff have been saying you like using the Spotify app to comment and stuff.
Absolutely.
Her words: jump, park, and murder.
Wow, that took a turn.
It did.
Jump, park, and murder.
Park and murder. Thanks, Andy. She's one of the OG StrangeFams.
Mm-hmm.
We'll save Bill's for next week.
Marvelous.
But yeah, in other news, my computer's been delayed a week.
Oh.
So I really want to... you know one thing I'd like to do? Because I was thinking SummerSlam is this Saturday.
That's right.
So we need to just do... We need to, on the YouTube channel, just do a live stream, like where we're on it, but we were watching it. You know? I think a lot of you guys in the comments and stuff have been saying to do that.
To live stream us watching
saying,
wrestling.
Yeah, do a live stream of wrestling pay-per-view. That's where we find our strangers.
I do have some people coming over to watch wrestling. A couple friends are going to come over. Yeah, I think our generation, there's a lot of people, I think, that still jump in. Anyone who used to watch during the Attitude Era, if I ask them, they'll go, I mean, I don't follow it, but like, you know, I'll watch it like here and there. And I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. I'm like, no, I'm not saying you have to watch Raw and SmackDown, but when you have the ability to watch the pay-per-views, I'm just like, why?
They're
why
on
not?
Peacock, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
I mean, in many ways, wrestling's better than it's ever been in terms of like just the moves, the athleticism, like the physicality of it. You know, they've done a lot of good things with it. But yeah, I'll just, you know, it's fun to just check out. Like, I don't know what happened in Raw and SmackDown the last couple of months. Just do a quick little YouTube like summary of it, and then I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah,
I can't. Like, there's so much wrestling. It's weird to like really still be into something, but almost barely consume it. But it's just the right amount. At 40 years old, just the right amount is checking it on the big pay-per-views.
Yep, absolutely.
Very exciting. But yeah, so and then we'll get the gaming thing done. You know,
right around the corner.
Yeah, right around the corner. Just like everything else in our lives. Anyways, see you later. Bye, StrangeFam. Like, subscribe, share it. Tell a stranger. Tell a stranger that we don't know about it.
Yeah, tell a stranger, because remember, they can be our next special guest if they comment.
Win a chance to be our next guest.
Yep.
All right. Bye.